Good morning. Topic for today is trig ratios for special angles. Remember that our definition for the sine ratio in terms of a circle is y over r and the cos ratio is x over r. It'd be great if the radius turned out to be 1, then we wouldn't even have to worry about dividing by the radius. We would though, if it's a special angle, we're going to need to figure out the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. If you remember from geometry, if you have an equilateral triangle, every side, let's say we start out with 2, and we cut that in half, then this side is now going to be 1 instead of 2. We're still going to have a 60-degree angle. A little Pythagorean theorem gets us that. Again, it'd be nice if the radius was 1, so instead of using this triangle, I'm going to size it down so that the hypotenuse is 1. This side, instead of 1, is now going to be a half, and instead of root 3 over 2. We are now ready to look at trig ratios for special angles. Here's my 30, 60, 90 triangle that we were just looking at. Again, the radius is 1 here. This looks like a half, and it is, and it's the x-coordinate. And this is the root 3 over 2 for the y-coordinate. I put a little tick mark here to recognize where root 3 over 2 is, and I similarly put a tick mark here. I've marked off angles at 30-degree increments, and if you notice, every single one of them, for the coordinates either going to be a half or root 3 over 2. For 30 degrees, that x-coordinate is the root 3 over 2 that goes with the tick mark, and the y-coordinate is the 1/2. Similarly, with 210 degrees here, we would have an x-coordinate that would be that negative root 3 over 2 number, and that y-coordinate would be the 1/2. We are now ready to find some trig ratios. So for sine of 60 degrees is right here. Y-coordinate is root 3 over 2. The radius is 1/2, or is 1, so there's no reason to divide by the radius. Cosine 60 degrees, x-coordinate, there's 60 degrees, x-coordinate is a half, no reason to divide by the radius of 1. 120 degrees is right here. The sine ratio means the y-coordinate. The y-coordinate is that tick mark that goes with root 3 over 2. It's also the same as the y-coordinate for the 60-degree angle. So root 3 over 2, and again, we're not dividing by a radius of 1. And for cosine of 210 degrees, 210 degrees is right here. Cosine ratio means the x-coordinate. If I go up here, that x-coordinate is definitely not the 1/2. The x-coordinate is the root 3 over 2, like this one and this one, and it's negative, obviously. So cosine ratio is negative root 3 over 2. No need to divide by the radius of 1. All right, I have 3 more for you, and then we'll be done. Perhaps my diagram here is a little too small. We will have to draw our own diagram. So I'm going to draw a circle here, and I'm going to mark off a 30-degree angle. There's a half right there, right about halfway between. So here is one angle. Here's about halfway between. So that's going to be another one. There's my 30. There's my 60. And I'm going to do the same thing in the other quadrants. So where a half is, that goes along with a special angle. Halfway here goes along. Boom, 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 boom. And I've got my angles marked off. Also, I might want to remind myself that the x-coordinate for this is 1/2, right? And the y-coordinate for this point is the root 3 over 2. Those you have to memorize, the 1/2 and the root. Well, the 1/2 is you can just look at it. The root 3 over 2 you have to memorize. And now we're all set. So cosine of 120 degrees, 30, 60, 90, 120 is right here. Cosine ratio is the x-coordinate, which is going to be a half, but negative, and no need to divide by the radius of 1. For sine of 300 degrees, one way to go is this is 360 right here, so this is 330 backwards, so this is 300 right there. You could also do 90, 180, 270 plus 30 more gets me to 300. Either way, sine ratio is the y-coordinate. Sine coordinate is that y-coordinate, which is a root 3 over 2 number. It's clearly negative. No need to divide by the radius of 1. And then finally, we've got our 240-degree angle. 90, 180, 210, 240 is right there. X coordinate goes with the cosine ratio. X coordinate is clearly -1/2. No need to divide by the radius of 1, and we